Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to another SWGOH video. So I'm back here with another Conquest video. So this one I'm in Sector 3 and I'll show you the two possible teams here that I use to complete the bombs away feat, where you have to apply 50 thermal detonators on enemies. Now there are two main sources of detonators, so it's the bounty hunters and Jawas. So I'll show you two battles here, how I did this. In terms of this, obviously the key one here is deployable cooling systems, because anytime your guys will get a buff, they'll have a chance to reduce the cooldowns. Now especially this goes for the bounty hunter squad. They'll have to be able to keep spamming their thermal detonator abilities to keep applying those. And then you definitely want to have, a couple of buff discs, like I've got offensive buff disc and as well heal over time disc. So every time they'll get a turn, they'll get 5 buffs, and this will give them plenty of chance to reduce their cooldowns. Now depending on the level of your bounty hunters, mine are not that high, especially like Greedo, that he also can apply thermal detonators, while Zem and Dengar are gear 12. Just throwing them in there, probably they wouldn't be able to last here long in Sector 3 with such low gears. So what I did was I will be using Throne Lead, and because I've got Leader's Resolve data disc here that boosts all the stats here for the leader, Throne will be fast and tanky, and also due to his leadership, anytime they hit him, he'll be gaining bonus turn meter. So he'll be able to keep then, passing turn meter over to Phasma, and then Phasma can boost everybody else's turn meter, and we'll just have this kind of turn meter loop going for our bounty hunters. So let me show you my team now. As mentioned before, Throne in the leading slot, because I've got this data disc that boosts the speed and survivability of my leader, and then he can swap turn meter, and because we'll be reducing cooldowns thanks to our data discs, he'll be able to keep spamming his turn meter swap ability to others. So this will help us to get more turns. Now mine, Throne's at relic 6, he's modded for speed, so he's at 305. And then I'll be using Phasma as mentioned, because then her victory march can boost everybody 50% turn meter. So what'll happen is Throne will keep passing turn meter over to Phasma, and Phasma will keep boosting everybody's turn meter, and we'll kind of get some sort of turn meter loop going, and which will give constant turn meter to our bounty hunters, so we can then keep applying those thermal detonators. And then finally my bounty hunters, Zem here, she's at gear 12. She's modded for speed at 265, and obviously we'll keep using her See What Sticks ability that applies to thermal detonators. Dengar here, also gear 12, his speed is at 193, and we'll be using Mini Mind Mayhem again that can apply thermal detonators. And then finally Greedo here, only gear 8, and he just got some totally random mods on him, I don't really use him. And obviously we'll be using his explosive sabotage that applies thermal detonators on all enemies. So this is the team. So now let's just hop into the battle and let me show you how I run it to apply thermal detonators. So let's go, and there we go. You just want to probably try to choose some slower team here. Now unfortunately already lost their Greedo, so he didn't do much. But unfortunately here Sector 3 everybody's quite fast. But anyway, Throne will eventually get a turn, so there we go. So when Throne gets a turn, just pass it over to Phasma, and now Phasma can do victory march, boost turn meter to everybody, and Throne gets another turn, pass turn meter over there. There we go, and apply more here, thermal detonators. Now unfortunately lost them as well, so it's only going to be down to Dengar here to keep applying. Anyway, let's boost turn meter, apply those thermals. As you can see, my Throne is quite tanky here. Thanks to the data disc for the leader. Again, let's pass turn meter to Phasma, victory march. Now unfortunately it didn't reset there, so I didn't have another turn meter swap ability, but for Throne's lead he gets his special ability while he gains 50% turn meter after using it. So another quick turn for Throne, again pass over to Phasma, Phasma does victory march, another turn for Phasma, Phasma again boosts turn meter. So as you can see, we have sort of a loop going here between Throne and Phasma keeps boosting turn meter then to Dengar. So we have kind of a turn meter loop. Now unfortunately I lost Zem. If I would have Zem in there, she would be able to as well get some turns in. There we go. Another turn for Phasma. So it's a pretty straightforward hit team to run. Again, you know, depends on the level of bounty hunters and things like that. But if you do have, like, you know, gear 12-ish like I do, you can apply here a few thermal detonators. And good thing about this feat here is you don't need to win the battle, because these guys will defeat me in the end, but all the thermal detonators that you apply, even when you do lose a battle, it still counts for the feat. But you know, maybe with a slightly, maybe Greedo would be gear 12, maybe we'll be able to pull out a win, I'm not sure. Maybe if I would have more buff discs, that I would always be guaranteed, because you know, there were a couple of times where Thrawn and Phasma didn't, like just now there, didn't have cooldowns reset, so Phasma wasn't able to boost her meter and Dengar. But it doesn't really matter. There I going. Obviously, you will want to choose an opponent that's not like too threatening here, like I don't know, Tuscans. They're probably not too you know, threatening. I think here you can handle them if you do have undergear bounty hunters, as I do. So there we go. Alright, now just Thrawn and Dengar left, so let's see how long they can hang in here. Alright, again, see if I would have maybe more buff, maybe another buff discs, like the defensive buffs disc on, sorry, the offensive buff disc. I do have defensive buff disc here, I think, applied in this video, yeah. Then, you know, I would be getting more buffs, and then we'll guarantee our, really here, survival. But anyway, they're making good progress here on Thrawn. Alright, only Dengar left, so he won't last long. There we go. Now, even though I lost the battle here, the thermal detonators that I applied did count. So at that point, I was on 32 thermal detonators. So in this particular battle, I was able to apply 20 thermal detonators. So, you know, maybe if I would run this team one more time, this would be complete. But I wanted to show another team with Jawas. If you do have a Galactic Legend Rey, you just put Rey in the leading slot, throw Jawas in, and, you know, she can keep Jawas alive. And, you know, then thermal detonators get applied. So this is what I'll show you now in the next battle. Alright, so this is the team. Obviously, if you do have relic Jawas, you probably don't need the Rey. But my Jawas, as you can see, are very heavily undergeared. So, you know, I put Rey in the lead so she can keep them alive with her lifeblood. And then, you know, the rest of Jawas, as you can see, you know, gear 11, gear 10, just some random mods. Even Scavenger there, he's only a gear 8, but you know, he's unique, doesn't matter the gear, it still works, which will, every time Jawa is hit, you know, the enemies will be getting some thermal detonators applied. So this is the team, really, not much to it. So let me just show you the battle now. What I like to do for this one is target Ewoks, because, you know, they don't have a whole lot of firepower. I mean, they can hit pretty hard. But they get lots of attacks, which means lots of thermal detonator stacking. So there we go. Got a lot of thermals already there. What is it, around 20 thermal detonators already? They keep going. And with Rey, you know, just keep spamming her lifeblood on whoever needs it the most. So there you go, they're going after Nebit there. So just keep putting lifeblood onto him. There we go. Got the 2 Ewoks already gone here. Alright, let's just go into ultimate now. And unlike the first team that I showed you, this team actually does win a battle. So if you do need a win, you know, this team is more reliable. And boom, there we go. Oh, Paplo live. He's hanging in there. Alright, let's see if we can get some more thermal detonators. So I think this team, especially if you go against Ewoks or something like that, can probably complete this feat in a single battle. Because you see, we've got so many thermal detonators there. But, you know, if you do not have Rey, you can make work as well something with the bounty hunters that I showed you in the first battle. And there we go. So this then completed the thermal detonator feat here for me. Completed it, done. Alright guys, hope you find this video useful and helpful, showing you how I completed here the thermal detonator feat here using 2 different teams. Obviously, if you do not have Rey, you'll probably either have to use relic Jawas or bounty hunters. Some sort of, you know, thermometer loop there that I showed you. Maybe it'll help you if your bounty hunters are not relic up. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you find it useful, let me know in the comments below. But until then, have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.